Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your end of August 2024 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. I was just thinking how I often do Pisces last or next to last, and somebody wrote to me. I might have had even more than one person, probably with a crying emoji, like, why do you do that? And I said, well, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And they're like, I don't know if people, I have tried to not always do the same signs first and the same signs last, but, you know, it is what it is. It's not anything personal. But I was just thinking, I think this is like yet another time when I have put Pisces last. So hopefully you'll not hold it against me. I should pick cards with my left hand more often because the left side is the yin, is the feminine energy. I'm left-handed while I'm ambidextrous. I find that the only thing I really do with my left hand, come to think of it, is right. But I should do that because maybe I will get more. Then if I do this side, it's kind of awkward. Oops. It's not that easy, like laying out the cards with my current setup, because I have kind of a tight squeeze because I want to get the highest resolution by having it as close up as possible. Ooh, two cards came out, so they're both going here. Wow, isn't that funny? One is like, they're both like opposing one another in terms of what they mean. Oof. All right. The heart of the matter is the Tower card. I was just saying to Cancer that, September 17th, we're having the first lunar eclipse in Pisces. Actually, I was talking about a different eclipse. I was actually talking about one in October. But we're having an eclipse in Pisces in a matter of weeks in your Pisces. So the Tower card, whenever I get the Tower card, I immediately think of eclipses. And the reason is because you see that bolt of lightning. It's like, it's a shakeup. You know what I mean? And things have to be shaken, shook up in order for us sometimes to let go of complacency. Complacency is really quite commonplace with human beings sometimes. And part of it, I think, is that we get used to and attached to the things that are familiar, and we don't want to change. We don't want to have to deal with something. So for instance, in love, if someone is in a relationship and they're not really happy, but they don't want to leave because they don't want to upset the apple cart. They don't want, to have this major change in their life. They may just stay put. And the problem with staying put is that it could be something that is, you know, creating stagnation in your life. And stagnation creates a lot of what we would call like stuck energy. You know what I mean? Um, And then, so it's a liberation, really, the Tower card. Also, if it's, and same thing with career, a person could be really unhappy where they're working, but they're afraid of the unknown. So if, let's say, they lost their job, it could throw them into this sense of like chaos, like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? But on the other hand, it can be very energizing. In the past position is the Page of Pentacles. And this can be a card of, some sort of new endeavor that is money making. Pentacles can be money and job. It could be a new job. It could even be as a student. You could have received some money. Maybe all of the above. I don't know. But I think even like when I said messages, I think even like thoughts, like you could even, this might even be like an amazing thought you have about starting a business. I remember when I thought about doing this that I'm doing now, and it was like, oh my gosh, I could do this. I could become an astrologer. And, it was like 9 years ago, or actually it was 10 years ago. I didn't do it for 9 months. I kind of prepared, how to make videos, how to do, because I didn't know any of that stuff. But, the funny thing about it is I said, I'll be one of the only astrologers in the whole world. Because, I don't know about you, but like sometimes when I'm looking at videos of a particular genre and I'm like, man, like let's say it is an astrologer. And I'm like, man, I have never heard of this person before. And they might have 200,000 subscribers. So they have existed independent of me for all this time as they were garnering hundreds of thousands, unless they paid for them. Maybe they paid for their 200,000 subscribers. Now, I mean, that does happen. And it's like, I love that because it means that we don't know everything that exists. We only have like this small sliver of what we're aware of. So you may come up with some idea, and the higher message is you may be busy. You might be juggling things for a while, because if you have a day job and you're trying to exit that, you might be trying to start up something else at the same time. Maybe you're going to school. Whatever your idea is, it might be, or when I said school, you could be, training in something. And you could be a busy little beaver. So you have to be aware of that. You have to be prepared for whatever gets activated, because it could cause a lot. Now, if it's relationship related and you've met a new person, maybe you're seeing two people at the same time. What crosses you is a Four of Wands. This is a card of happy home life, sometimes a new home. Maybe you were planning on moving and that's getting kind of thwarted for now. Remember, it's just temporary, all these things. We're in a Mercury retrograde anyway, so there could be some of that as well. But, the Tower card could be love at first sight. You might meet someone and you just randomly, well, you think it's randomly, and it like, you just are like, I'm going to marry this person, but you might be married. So how's that going to work? Well, that's what this card could mean, is that you are not happy where you are, and so things have to change. What's coming in is the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of financial security, good management of your finances. And that could be important, because maybe if you have found that you have recently lost your job, you may be getting very frugal as you but you may have already heard back from somebody else. So it's not something you have to worry about necessarily. I mean, you have Pisces has Jupiter in the fourth house of home and family. So you may, if you did have some kind of like real estate matter that didn't go through, you might have a better one that goes through. So don't worry about it. But you might be definitely counting your pennies, making sure that you have enough. But it is a card of having enough. Five of Pentacles, that would be a card of, not necessarily having enough. The outcome, two cards came out. This Three of Swords, but then I got like the Two of Cups, which is hilarious. So I'm going to read this. The Three of Swords can be a card of rejection, a card of a three-party situation, which I do think for some of you this may be the case. But it can also, and heartbreak, but it can also be a card of cutting something off cleanly, which means that if you have been involved in a relationship, you might decide to commit to somebody else. This is a card of commitment, but it could be a card of reuniting with someone. I guess I'm going to say Reunited, and it feels so good. I've used that title many, many times in some of my readings, so I'll probably use it again. But yeah, we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. Maybe you've heard back from some love from your past. That could be the message. Is that person an earth sign? And you realize that you're not happy where you're at. And so you realize that you have to cut that situation off in order to be with the person that you really want to be with. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.